spiritual center worldwide. We know that we're not here by chance. Each and every one of us, we have a divine appointment. If you tuned in at this morning, this message is for you, because nothing happens by chance. And we think, well, yeah, what a coincidence. There are no coincidences in the universe. And there are those amazing little synchronicitous moments in life. And that we come together, and all of our prayers, our treatments, our spiritual goals come together and unfold in miraculous ways. Because we know that with God, whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our God or our higher power, that essence that is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions. When we're looking around at conditions and think, oh my God, ain't it awful? Appearances that show up, and, of course, the effects. This is all the world of form. But there is a cause and mind within each of us. And we can recreate what we want to experience. So this morning, as we gather together and we acknowledge the spirit of life that is within each one of us, Jesus said it best. He said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. The Old Testament talks about, I bring you a blessing and a curse. I bring you life and death. Choose life. Choose the energy that permeates within each and every one of us at a DNA cellular level. And years ago I heard a story, it was an amazing story, about the spirit of life in this elderly woman. And it was interesting because it was the professor in a classroom that said, if you came into my classroom and you don't know someone, you go and introduce yourself to them. A lot of us think, oh, why do I have to do that? And then we introduce ourselves, we have a connection, we think, wow, this was a divine appointment, for sure. So this professor in the classroom said, walk around the room, introduce yourself to someone you don't know. And this young gentleman said he felt a gentle hand on his shoulder. And he turned around, and there was this little wrinkled, gray-haired woman, and he was kind of taken aback. And she said, may I have a hug? And he said, wow, sure, you can have a hug. And she gave him a big squeeze. And he said, tell me, what is a young lady like you doing in a college class so very young? And she said, well, I'm 87 years old. And I always had a dream to get my college education. So I enrolled, and I'm here. But actually, I'm looking for a rich guy to marry, to have kids, and live happily ever after. He loved her. He said it was instant love for this beautiful woman. And he said that for the next 3 months, every day, they'd go to the cafeteria, they'd share a milkshake, and her name was Rose. And she became an absolute icon on campus, and everyone loved Rose. And she dressed to the nines every day, and she was in the thick of it, and she had her books and a backpack. She had kind of a little mini skirt on with boots, and someone turned around, and looked at her, and she looked at them, and they were kind of wrinkly and had gray hair like hers, but she had a bandana on hers with a little, rose in it. And she turned and just said, I used to be old once, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. And she kept walking. And the football team asked her to be their keynote speaker at their banquet. So she got up there, and she was just raring to go. And as she started into her talk, all her 3x5 cards just scattered. She goes, oh my God, I'm just so jittery. She said, I gave up beer for Lent, and this whiskey is killing me. And then she said, so I'm never going to get those 3x5 cards in order again, so I might as well just tell you what I know. I know that you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing, you stop living, you stop participating in life. And what I know is that the key to happiness is find something joyful every day. And you know what I tell you every Sunday? Joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. If we are not in joy, in the spirit of life energetically, we're an ego. Ego, right? So she said, find the joy, the laughter every single day. Don't give up your dreams. I had a dream of getting my college education, and here I am. And we can say, well, what's the difference does a year make? 1 year makes a difference. If you're 19, you stay in bed every day, you're going to turn 20. I'm 87. If I'm going to stay in bed every single day, I'm going to turn 88. There is a bit of a difference in this. And she said, and to love what you do and do what you love. Because there's a lot of people walking around this world that are dead and they don't even know it. Right? I mean, if we feel that joy and we have a smile on our face, the universe responds to that. And I remember once my daughter and I were hooked into this telemarketing thing. It was, something that they sent us tickets, and they said there was going to be this great keynote speaker. It's when I had my San Diego ministry, and they wanted to sell us condos. And they were up there, and they were, giving all the benefits, and were really quite serious. And my daughter whispered, said, oh, the hors d'oeuvres look good. Go get us some. Right? And then the gentleman was talking about, the way of life, and I said, well, are you happy? And he was taken aback. He said, well, yes, I'm happy. And I said, please notify your face. Because if you notify your face that you're happy, it's going to show up to this wonderful, august body of people. Right? And, suddenly the seminar was ended, everyone got their hors d'oeuvres, and also they were giving away money. So they, a lot of people do these things so they get the money. And so my daughter was up there to get the money because she wanted to do special things. But if we are happy and joyful, our whole being reflects it. Our whole being is alive with this energy. Life is a blessing or a curse. It's life or death. Choose life. Choose the opportunity that we have every single day of our lives. So Rose went on to share what she felt was so that it assisted her and supported her throughout her life. And she said, change is opportunity. Think about it. Change is opportunity. But we resist change. And then she went on to say that when we open to the change, that life is miraculous. Life is absolutely wonderful. And that we move through our resistance. And we move through our mindsets about the way we think life should be. Life is not always what we think it should be at any given moment. Life happens, it unfolds. You run with the tides of life, the ebbs and flows, the energy, and you keep saying, I let go and let God do what God does best by means of me. And when we really get that, when we operate from that place, and to really know that I have a life that's lived in, and if there are a few laugh lines, great, wonderful, wonderful that we have a few laugh lines. And then she went on to say, elderly people, they don't, she said that they don't regret what they want to do. She said, we regret what we didn't do. Have no regrets. Regrets will age us, will wrinkle us, will, do the things to us that operate from a lower vibratory frequency and calibrates at a very low frequency. Regret. So while we're here to live and move and have our being in this energy. And this young man who narrated the story said that after graduation, a couple years later, a week after graduation, that Rose passed away. And she moved off the planet. And he said there were 2,000 students at her memorial service that she had changed their lives by her attitude, by the way she looked at life and the perspective of take the high ground, take that opportunity that life is and run with it, because there is a spirit within each of us. There is that place within each of us. The Bible calls it the secret place of the Most High. Go to the secret place of the Most High. Pray to your Father, Mother, God in secret, and know that you will be rewarded openly by the outward demonstrations of our lives as we open to this energy, as we let go at a deeper level, as we take higher ground, And every time we take higher ground, the perspective is so clear. There's so much clarity every time we do that. And when stuff comes up in our life, to just see it for what it is. It's just stuff to get our attention so that we can go to a higher place and view it from that place. And when there's stuff, stuff happens and relationship stuff, to see the Christ consciousness beyond what's being demonstrated at that moment. So today, as we acknowledge the opportunity that we have to be in the world but not of it, I'm reminded of a Hindu story where this Hindu saw a scorpion in great distress, and he reached in his hand to lift it out of the water, and the scorpion stung him. And he went back in to save the scorpion. And finally, a gentleman said, "Why are you putting your hand in the water with the scorpion? It's only going to sting you." And he said, "It's the nature of the scorpion to sting me. This is its nature. I am a Hindu. It is my nature to love." So everything responds to love. Everything is energized through a molecular substance. And it's up to us to see what is expressed and the opportunity that we have to know that. So this morning, as we come together to acknowledge this power, this presence, this energy within us, and the spirit of life that is within us, and the opportunity to know that we can trust the universe. And that when you walk along and you see a penny, I always pick up the pennies, and it says, the first thing I always see, in God we trust. In God we trust. In that energy of the universe we trust. And that we open to that energy. Because there's so much that goes on that we can give our power away to. There's so much that goes on that's gone on for centuries and centuries. And I choose to know the truth. Know the truth. And the truth shall set you free. And that truth is that we are a being of God, created in its image and likeness. And that it is good and very good. And that it's the easiest thing in the world to react to stuff going on outside of us. I think it takes real strength to arise each day and make our conscious choice. Choose thee this day whom you will serve. God, life, truth, beauty, or mammon, which is the ego. So every single day we can recreate our experience of what's out here. And just kept sending light. The light penetrates the darkness comprehendeth it not, and shadows flee away forever and ever and ever. And when we really get that, we embody that. Because this is the easiest thing in the world to, someone said, "Oh, I've been telling everybody about the center and what they can do for their life to improve their life and how they can uplift their life." And I said, do that for you. And your example will shine so brightly that everyone and anyone who comes within your energy field will be healed and uplifted in your presence. Do that for you. Because running around trying to, help people doesn't work. But being the example of what we teach, rather than saying, "Boy, do you need this?" By being the example, everyone and anyone who comes within our energy field will feel that and totally and completely be uplifted. There was a guru who told a joke to an audience, and they all laughed uproariously. And then he told the joke again, and they kind of half-heartedly laughed. Then he told the joke a third time, and there was no laughter. He said, "Aha, on the third telling of the joke, there is no laughter because you heard the joke and there is no laughter." And he said, "Look at your life. And with every problem you have, you give it your attention. Treat it as the joke that it is, that you don't need to react to it or respond to it, but just know that it's there for a moment. And then let it do its perfect work, which is to teach us something, right? To teach us energetically who and what we are. That we are beings of the universe. That we have a right to be here. We're no less than the sun, the trees, and the stars. We have a complete right to be here. And in being here, we open that space. And we open the space to miracles. And to me, life is a miracle. And it's to be respected, it's to be acknowledged, and it's to know that every connection we have is a divine appointment, that it's a holy encounter. And when we get that energetically, we move to the next level. And when we forgive ourselves, our reactions, people in the energy field. Forgiveness is the key to life. It's a key to life. And that when we hold on to stuff, that stuff serves as a barrier to our greater good. So today, let's be like Rose. Let's acknowledge that at 87, if you still have goals, that you put that in place. And in putting these goals in place, I call them sacred goals, and a high vision, and a deep desire to be in the world, but of a higher vibratory frequency. Be in the world, but not of it. Feel that energy that goes before us and prepares the way as we become a lamp unto our own feet. And as we become a lamp unto our own feet, we draw like-minded people into us. There are no strangers, only friends we haven't met, right? And so we always find our soul community. On Friday, I did the invocation for the International Athena Awards. And I had so many people come to me and say, that was the most amazing thing I've ever heard. I've never heard a minister get up there and bless every faith, every creed, every color, beyond sexual orientation, we're all one. We've never heard that. And I passed out more cards on Friday from a simple prayer that I do here every Sunday, and that it's part of a Christmas poem that I actually wrote. It's the last stanza. In the dawning of the spiritual sun, for a moment all faiths became as one. The Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Jew became as one and somehow knew that mystic voice that calls to me, oh, yonder, yonder person, I am thee. We are one. Beyond color, race, creed, or sexual orientation, we are one. And that makes all the difference because we're all going together. And do you know where we're going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is.
Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only